Hi to all, myself R. Madhavi from the EEE department in Annamacharya Institute of Technology and Sciences in Tirupati. So today we are discussing about the DC motors. So in this session we can discuss about what is a DC motor and what is the working principle of the DC motor and what is the torque equation for the DC motor and types of the DC motor. So first, if you can see the types of the machines, we are having the two types of the machine. One is the generator. So what is the purpose of the generator is nothing but it can convert the mechanical energy into electrical energy. Already we can see the DC generator in the previous session. How we can means based upon the Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, you can convert the mechanical energy into electrical energy. And the next one is electrical motor. What is the motor is nothing but it is a device which can, it is a machine which converts the electrical energy into mechanical energy. So here you can see the how the electrical energy is converted to mechanical energy. You can see in the principle of operation of the DC motor. If you see the principle of the DC motor, so what is the main principle of the DC motor is nothing but Faraday's law of the electromagnetic induction. So what is the Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction is nothing but when a current carrying conductor is placed in a magnetic field, it experiences a force. So whenever you can put one current carrying conductor in a field winding, they experience a force based upon the flux and the current values. How we can means we can see. So next, if you see the construction, so it will be same as the DC motor. Already in the DC generator you can see the construction of the DC generator. Similar to the DC generator, in the DC motor also you can have the same parts just like one stator, pole shoe, field winding, armature core and armature winding and brush and commutator, everything will be same. Only the action will be different. That is either it can be converted to electrical to mechanical or mechanical to electrical. So next you can see the working principle of the DC motor. So one thing is according to the Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, you can get the force existing that. So what is the force and what is the direction of the force means you can represent by using the Fleming's left hand rule. So based upon the Fleming's left hand rule, you can decide the direction of the force and what is the magnitude of this force is nothing but F is equals to BIL. Here B represents the magnetic flux density, I represents the current and L represents the length of the conductor within the magnetic field. So how you can represent the direction of that one means if you are taking your left hand, suppose you can assume in the left hand you can take left hand, so one thumb, forefinger and middle finger. So if you are taking these three fingers, the thumb represents the force and the forefinger represents the flux and the middle finger represents the current directions. So if you are taking these three, what you are getting here? So these three are perpendicular to each other. There will be forefinger is only for the magnetic flux. This will be no change in that. The only change is here if you are observing the thumb and the middle finger. So these two will be in the opposite direction. Thumb represents the upward direction and middle finger represents the downward direction. So from this you can say it. So current in downward direction means force you can experience in the upward direction. So if you are reverse your hand, that is middle finger in the upward direction and the thumb in the downward direction, what you can say, the current direction is the upward direction and the force will be in the downward direction. So based upon this representation of the currents and the flux, you can set the force direction. Next, so if you see the construction, so in the construction you are having the two poles, north pole, south pole. So there will be the flux flowing through north to south. So this will be normal way giving that. So already what is the working principle means it is the due to the Fleming's left hand rule. So here you can give the one supply by using the one DC supply. So by giving the DC supply to that, so there will be the current flowing in a coil. So if you are seeing the coil, there will be some current flowing in this. So due to this, so one flux is due to north to south, that is based upon the field winding, and whenever we can give the supply to the conductor, there will be some current flowing in the conductor also. So based upon this current also, in this circle you are having the magnetic flux effect. So here you are having the two types of the fluxes. One is due to north to south and one due to the current carrying conductor. So how you can get the direction of the force means, so if you are seeing, so based upon this you are having the two types of the fluxes. So north to south means, so if you are taking the north to south direction, the flux direction will be in this direction, and the conductor will be rotating means the direction is in this direction. If you see this, so these flux will be in this, so upward direction. So if you see the left hand side, this will be in the upward direction, this will be in the upward direction. When the two fluxes are in the same direction, the flux will be added, so more flux will be there. So if you are seeing in your left hand side, one flux is in the upward direction and one will be in the downward direction. So these two will be cancel each other, that will be less flux. So compared to the two side fluxes, in the left hand side, so in the left hand side you can have the more flux, in the right hand you can have the less flux. So here the high flux and the low flux. So how it can be works means, so flux effect is more in the left hand side means it will be having the stretched band. So if you are seeing the stretched band, whenever you can apply the maximum effort on the one side, if you are leaving that one, it will be exerted towards the low flux area. So similar to here also, the force will be exerted from high flux area to low flux area, that is it will be rotate from left to right. So from this way the flux direction and the force will be exerted from left hand side to right hand side, that is clockwise direction. If you are interchanging the terminals means north to south, that is, so in the previous you can take from north to south in this direction. If you are taking the opposite direction, that is from north to south here in this direction downward, so what you are getting, in this side you are having the low flux, in this side you are having the left side, that is high flux area will be in the right hand side and the low flux will be in the left hand side. That means the motor will be exerts the force towards the right to left, that it will be moving to opposite direction. So if you are interchanging any flux values or current values, there may be a change in the force direction, that is the rotation of the motor direction. So in this way you can get the force in the DC motor. Next, if you see the, so in this diagram here one conductor is there. So if you see this, one conductor is there, there will be some flux lines is passing through the north to south. So if you see that one conductor cuts the flux, you already know that whenever whenever the conductor cuts the magnetic flux, it produces the EMF. So there is a possibility of some EMF produced in a coil. Why? Because here also conductor is there and the flux lines is there. So there is a possibility of production of the EMF. So this is nothing but the back EMF in the DC motor. So in the DC generator we can call it as induced EMF. In this you can call it as a back EMF. So what is the direction of the back EMF is nothing but it is always opposite to the supply voltage. Why? Because according to the Lenz's law, whatever the supply voltage, that is the supply voltage which opposes the cause. So here the EMF will be produced due to the supply voltage. So according to the Lenz's law, whatever the EMF produced in that will be opposes the cause. So what is the main cause? That is the supply voltage. So the induced EMF or back EMF is opposite to the supply voltage. What is the expression of the back EMF is nothing but EB. So what is the formula is nothing but it is similar to the induced EMF, that is 5ZNP by 60 into A. So this is the formula. So N represents the speed and phi represents the flux, Z represents the number of conductors, P is the number of poles and A is the number of parallel paths. So if you want to write the voltage and current power equations, so here mainly voltage is divided into one back EMF and the one loss in the armature. So this is the expression for the voltage in the DC motor. If you want the power equation, means you can multiply this voltage with Ia. You can get V into Ia is equals to EB into Ia plus Ia square into RA. So here VIA is nothing but it is from the supply. V is the supply voltage, nothing but you can call it as electrical power supplied to the motor. EB by Ia. So EB is nothing but it is produced in the armature. So in the armature, what is the purpose? It generates the mechanical. So it is the mechanical power in the DC motor. And Ia square RA is nothing but power loss in the armature winding. So what is the EBIA expression is nothing but VIA minus Ia square into RA. So VIA is nothing but input power. Ia square is another losses. So EBI is nothing but the whatever the gross mechanical power produced by the motor. Next, so derive the torque equation here. So how we can means, so why we are taking the torque equation means, so if you are observing that, so there will be exerts the force. So in the DC motor the force is not constant. Why? Because it will be rotating throughout the motor. So that is there will be the twisting moment of the force. What is the torque is nothing but it is a twisting moment of the force. So T, we can represent the mechanical power in terms of the mechanical is nothing but T into omega. Similarly, if you want to take the in terms of the electrical in a armature winding is EB into Ia. So in terms of the mechanical side T into omega, in terms of the electrical side EB into Ia, the total will be the mechanical power. So if you are equating these two equations, what we are getting EB into Ia and T into omega. So omega value is nothing but 2 pi n by 60 and EB value is nothing but 5Z NB by 60. So if you are substituting these two values in the equation, what you are getting? So EB plus 5Z NB by 60 into Ia, which is equals to T into omega. What is the omega representation? 2 pi n by 60. So what is the torque expression? 0 by solving this you can get 0.159 P5Z into Ia by A. So here 0.159 Pz by A is the constant. The only variable here is phi into Ia. So you can represent torque is always proportional to phi into Ia. And what is the torque equation is nothing but T is equals to 0.159 Pz by A into phi into E. So this is the torque equation in the DC motor. So based upon this equation you can represent the different characteristics in the DC motor. Next, if you are seeing the types of DC motor, so already you can see the types of the DC generator. Similar to the DC generator, in the DC motor also you are having the three types of the motor, that is shunt motor, series motor and compound motor. Again the compound motor is divided into short shunt and short long shunt. So in this long shunt and short shunt we are having the two types of the machine, what is cumulative and differential. So based upon the flux direction, if the fluxes will be in the same direction you can call it as a cumulative compound. If the fluxes will be in the opposite direction means differential compound. So if you are seeing the DC shunt motor, so already you know that DC shunt is nothing but the armature winding and the field winding which are connected in parallel, that is called as a DC shunt motor. So in the DC shunt motor the flux is always constant by the, so phi is proportional to phi into ISH, phi ISH. Next, what are the equations we are getting in the DC shunt motor is nothing but EB is equals to VL minus IA into RA and IA is equals to IL plus ISH and E is equals to EB plus IA into RA. These three are the voltage, the back EMF and the current and the supply voltage in the DC shunt motor. Next, if you are seeing the DC series motor is nothing but the armature winding and the field winding both will be connected in series. The type of the motor is called as a series motor. So in the series motor, whenever you can vary the resistance value, there will be the change in the current value also. Here if you see the series circuit, this ISC and IL and ISCR will be same. These three, IL, ISC and IA value. So if you are seeing the expression for the DC series motor, EB is equals to VL minus IA into RA minus ISC into RAC. So compared to the previous one, we have the one more extra drop, that is the ISC into RAC. In the series motor, IA and IL and ISC will be same, that is IA is equals to IL equals to ISC. Next, what is the supply voltage is nothing but VL is equals to EB plus IA into RA plus ISC into RSC. Next one is nothing but compound motor. So in the compound motor you are having the both parallel winding and the series winding. So you can parallel the one winding, that is the one field winding is connected to the combination of armature and the series field winding. So there is a possibility of series connection and shunt connection in the compound motor. So based upon the connection you are having the two types. One is the short shunt and the long shunt. So if you are seeing the short shunt, so here one series field and one armature will be connected in series. The shunt field is connected only for the armature. So the length will be less, means you can call it as a short shunt compound motor. So based upon the flux direction you can say that is the cumulative or differential machine in the DC series motor. So DC compound motor. So what are the expression for that? Means VB is equals to VL minus IA into RA minus ISC into RSC, and IA is equals to IL minus ISH, and IL is equals to ISC, and VL is equals to AB plus IA RA plus ISC into RSC, and IL is VL by RSH, which is similar to that of the DC generator. The only difference is here VL is the supply, EB is the output. In the generator only EB is the output and the V is the output. Next, last one, long shunt. In the long shunt, the both series field winding and the armature winding connected in parallel with the shunt field winding. So the length of this shunt field winding is more, so that's why it is called as a long shunt compound motor. So similar to that we are having the cumulative compound and differential compound based upon the fluxes. So what are the expression is nothing but EB is equals to VL minus IA into RA minus ISC into RSC. IL is equals to ISC is equals to IL minus ISH, and VL is the EB plus IA RA plus ISC into RSC. So these are all about the working principle and the torque equation and types of the DC motor. Thank you.